Muses of Mythology is a spoiler-heavy podcast.
That's an understatement.
We're going to discuss not just the events of this book, but the Riordanverse as a whole, and really anything that we feel is relevant. You can find full spoiler warnings in the show notes.
I would like to read from The Complete Gods and Goddesses of Ancient Egypt by Richard H. Wilkinson. Taco, if you walk across this fucking...
You'll bend that. Don't do that. You're too heavy on that.
You're too big. Buddy, I swear to God.
Welcome to Muses of Mythology, a podcast where we explore how ancient myths become part of modern pop culture through the lens of Rick Riordan's The King Chronicles. This is story 122, Anubis. I'm your co-host and podcasting muse, Darien and Smartt. Joining me is my co-host and brother, DJ.
How's everybody doing today? I've been playing a lot of Motemancer. If you've heard of Factorio, it's like that, but with hexagons and magic instead of like iron and stuff.
Things, reference points that everyone understands. And
it's an automation game.
Reference points that everyone can understand.
You're building a factory.
Oh, cool.
There you go.
All right, well,
You're starting from the raw materials and working your way up.
Well, let's muse around the garden for a minute. DJ, guess what?
What's up?
We have a new patron.
Ooh, wonderful. What's their name?
Their name is Emmy. Shout out. Welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We really do appreciate it.
They are a new camp counselor patron, and we are so
Wonderful.
happy to have them. They are joining.
Hope you enjoy those Muse misses. We've worked very hard on those. Very hard.
I mean, I was going to mention our coverage of season 2 of Percy Jackson and
We've
the
also
Olympian
done
series
that too, yeah.
being the most recent thing. But yeah, also the many years of Muse Miss, which I feel like is DJ's favorite thing.
I like doing it.
For
It's
the
a lot of fun.
podcast. Shout out to Emmy. Thank you again for joining. We super appreciate it. If you want to join cool people like Emmy, you can join us over on the Patreon, which is
Patreon.com/Muses of Mythology. We got a lot of stuff over there. We're very proud of it.
Yep. In addition to getting the bonus episodes as a thank you for supporting the show, patrons also help us in our monthly Patreon donations. Every month we donate $1 for every supporter we have over on Patreon to some organization working to create a net good in the world. This month we'll be donating to the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota. Because fuck ICE.
It's not good.
It's bad.
It's not good.
Things are nasty, rough, scary everywhere, but the folks of Minnesota are being hit extra hard. And
the way it works is just like circumvent the Constitution too. It's fucking crazy.
Y'all.
The way it was like founded. It's nuts from the ground up. Like it's not good.
It's not good. So yeah, specifically to help the folks who are most at risk and most being harmed by
And the people around them.
Yeah, by this awful, terrible institution. So donating $1 for every patron we have over on Patreon. We currently have 12 supporters, so we'll be donating additional out-of-pockets for a total of 20, and I'm going to donate an additional 20 out of that because it was my birthday, and I want to also give back. So this month, Muses is going to be donating $40
Wonderful.
to the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota. We didn't say what this organization. So this is a nonprofit organization that provides free immigration legal representation to low-income immigrants and refugees in Minnesota and North Dakota. If you want to learn more about them, link is going to be in the show notes. Thank you to Emmy and all of our patrons who help make these donations possible.
And now, back to the show.
Okay, DJ, I've been excited to do...
You can finally do Anubis.
I saved him for later in the season because I needed this one...
Something fun at the end.
Listen, it's all been fun, but this one was hard. There were some things that got really challenging to find the pieces. We shouldn't have done Norse and Egyptian
it was
back
a little
to
rough.
back.
We probably should have jumped back into Heroes.
So, which we will be doing
I
after
never listened to
this.
King Chronicles, and I was kind of excited.
I wanted to read this with you.
This
I'm
is a
glad
good
we got
time.
to read it. So yes, I've held off on doing Anubis as a treat for me as we get towards the end of the season. And now we get to do it. And I'm so excited because I learned so many fun things. I cannot wait to share it with you. But first, DJ, what do you remember about Anubis in the King Chronicles?
He was physically 16, over 6,000 years old. I think, right? 3,000? Somewhere around there? 6,000?
6,000 feels right.
Think so? I think that's what it was. He's just in the land of the dead, alone. He hasn't seen Osiris in a while. He's Sadie's love interest, one of the two, that then merge at the very end. And
crazy.
Sadie gets weird about it.
Yeah,
annoying.
That's crazy. That was crazy. Sadie.
It was like, Sadie, I got to deal with a fucking dude in my girl. And you get both the guys you were pining for in one? What's the issue here?
I know. Sadie got everything she wanted, and she still, like, couldn't be cool about it.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's hard to tell how much. So the first time we see Anubis is when Sadie's ba enters the, or maybe her,
it's her ba.
Yeah, it's her ba, is in the
past.
Yeah, and it literally goes into the past during the, like, Hall of Ages. And she witnesses Osiris's birthday party.
Yeah.
Where Set has the box.
Tricked him. And Anubis sees her and is like, you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, he's the only one that sees her, which...
Crazy. When all these gods are gods of the dead.
Which are, they're all gods, yeah, for sure. But listen.
For a love story, it's great.
Well, okay, yes. It's
come
giving...
on.
Okay.
Across time?
No, across time. It's giving... Okay, you've seen Howl's Moving Castle.
It's been so long.
Okay, so...
But I understand that it's like... she gets cursed by looking old, and Hal takes care of her, and it's a Beauty and the Beast.
Takes... No,
it's a Beauty and the Beast situation.
Not even a little bit. Well, okay, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Because Hal is also cursed. Yeah, no, and we've got to... Cursed. He did that to himself. I can't get into this right now. That's fascinating. But the point I want to make is at the beginning of the movie, when Howl and Sophie first meets, or when Sophie first meets Howl, she's getting her, like, harassed by some guards, some soldiers, and Howl comes up behind her and puts a hand around her shoulder and says, "There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you." And, like, that's just a line you can say to, like, oh, this person's being harassed. Like, I'm going to be like, oh, we know each other. Back the fuck off.
Yeah.
But at end of the movie, Sophie goes back in time to find out, like, what actually happened to Howl and Calcifer. And when she starts to fall back forward into time, she calls out, "It's me, Sophie. Find me again in the future." And he does.
That's good. That's nice.
And so that is why I legitimately like Anubis being only one to see Sadie, and then smash cut to 6,000 years later, seeing her again,
it's you.
Like, oh yeah, like it's you, but he never acknowledges that. He never says, "Oh, it's you."
You hate to see it,
right? And I'm like, Rick, this was right here. It was on. It was, but
you wrote it up on. You wrote yourself the silver platter, and then you smacked it away,
and then you ignored it. But it doesn't take away from the fact that he is 16 years old. And again, I've talked about this. I'm an urban fantasy girl. You tell me this immortal fairy tale being maybe is thousands of years old, but they are essentially like 22 or 6.
12.
The problem is it is a sophomore who keeps harassing a 7th grader. And I need him to leave her the fuck alone.
It's not great.
It won't stop hitting on the 7th grader.
So much would have been solved if they were 14 and twins.
Yes.
And also, we could have had a really cool dynamic of now Isis and Horus are pitted against each other. They're both vying for the throne for both sides because now they're siblings and have a right to the throne.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been fun.
You know what, DJ? It's been quite a few episodes since we brought up the
way better plot,
the stronger, the why didn't Rick Riordan commit more strongly to this concept that he himself introduced?
That's ridiculous.
For sure. Yeah, so that is the biggest problem, and it's a thing Rick Riordan just insists on doing left and right. But as a 12-year-old,
you are kind of pining for the 16-year-olds.
It's not. Again, it's fine if Sadie has a crush on Anubis. It's not fine for Anubis to kiss her. You are 16. And she just turned 13. Again, he is a sophomore. He's a 10th grader who keeps hitting on the 7th grader.
It's not great.
Knock it the fuck off. Anyway. But beyond that, I really genuinely like Anubis' character. Like, I think he's helpful, and I think, like, yeah, he's a sweet, sad boy. Go off. Yeah. But let's talk about Anubis in mythology. So
the real shit.
Iconography. It's got to start off.
Everybody knows. The Jackal.
I mean, what I wanted to say is, like, he's probably the most recognizable Egyptian god.
Yeah.
Like, if you
I think Anubis Ra.
Yeah.
Horus Osiris.
I would put Horus over Ra, just because Ra isn't always depicted with the bird head, and Horus isn't always either. But like, if you ask someone to describe an Egyptian god, you're probably gonna get, I think, Anubis or Bastet.
Maybe.
Dog head or cat head. Like, I feel like that's
I truly think Anubis, Ra, because I knew Ra before anything, even before SMITE. I knew about Ra.
Oh,
yeah. Anubis, Ra, and Bastet probably at the top.
And then just like animal-headed deities. Like, it's striking, right?
Yeah. You'll get like Isis or any of the winged ladies.
Yeah, and they're like cool, but like if some piece of media is gonna do Egyptian mythology,
it's Anubis.
It's like, it's gonna
9 out of 10 times.
9 out of 10 times
it's gonna be
Anubis.
only Anubis.
Yeah, because he looks metal as hell, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Anubis or Anubis adjacent.
Yes, Anubis or Anubis. He looks cool as hell, right? He's a man with the head of a black canine who's in charge of the underworld.
That's awesome. That's great.
Fucking metal as hell. So
I'd love to see it.
Very, very rarely Anubis was depicted as fully human, but again, so very rarely. He's either animal-headed or fully canine.
Mm-hmm.
When he's the latter, he's typically depicted as lying down, but alert, seated on a shrine, and typically wearing a collar or a ceremonial tie. And when he has opposable thumbs, Anubis is portrayed as holding the was scepter and an ankh, and he's often seen performing the opening of the mouth ceremony on the deceased, leading spirits into the underworld, or weighing hearts against the feather of truth. Now, Anubis isn't the only canine-headed deity, but the color of his fur does set him apart.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take a guess? Why do you think Anubis is black?
Death, ash.
Ooh, ash isn't bad. The Egyptians did typically burn their dead.
Is it the fertile fields?
You got it. Okay, you
because
you
like
did get both.
You said the black sand, right?
Yeah.
I remember the Horus being the kingdom of black sand, and the black sand is the fertile fields.
Because DJ, you had all the answers, and that's why I asked the question. I knew you could do it. So, yes. So it does. It has to do. You're right on both accounts, honestly. So it's symbolic because it represents the discoloration of a corpse following the embalming process.
Yep.
But simultaneously, as you pointed out, it's also the color of the rich, fertile Nile soil, which is a hue associated with life. And so Anubis symbolizes regeneration, like death to rebirth. Now, DJ, this is a piece that I would typically say for the end, because I love to do a whole episode, and then I love to come out really in and like, here's a twist, here's a piece of information, here's a cool thing I learned that really and I'm going to mention it here because
the rest of your notes are kind of based on it.
Basically kind of, yes. DJ, what if I told you Anubis wasn't a jackal?
Yeah, I'd believe it.
Yep. The Egyptians used the word sab to refer to the creature that represents Anubis. This is the term they used for jackal, but they also used it to refer to other canines.
It's just dog.
Kind of. So he bears the traits that are similar to dogs: long muzzle, 5 front toes, 5 toes on the front, 5 toes on his forefeet, and then 4 toes on the hind feet. But his tail being like kind of wider and clubber at the end is more similar to how they would depict jackals or foxes or wolves.
Uh-huh.
So scholars long associated Anubis.
Tell me that he's actually based off of wolves, and it's because wolves were a fucking problem.
No, I forgot.
We're bringing it back, baby.
God damn it!
Yeah, he's based on a wolf because wolves meant death, bro.
Shut the fuck up. Let me finish.
Let's go. Love to see it.
Okay, so all right, so scholars long connected Anubis with the African variant of the golden jackal, because that's a creature that would have been known to the ancient Egyptians, right? And there's the like visual similarities. However, in 2015, analysis on this specific species' mitochondrial DNA and nuclear genome found that it was way more closely related to gray wolves and coyotes than it was to jackals.
Love to see it. Let's go. Wolves, baby. Problem across cultures. Let's go.
This species has since been reclassified. It is now known as the African wolf, which means taxonomically, Anubis is not a jackal.
He's a wolf. Let's go.
So, and wolves were a problem.
They always are,
but
dude.
For a different reason, for a fun new, for an Egyptian themed reason. It is a little.
They would eat the dead. They just straight up go out and eat the dead.
DJ. Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly the fucking. That's okay. I had this whole thing. The section is called In the Beginning, and I have this whole thing about how it's really hard to say like why the gods look the way they do. Like maybe the falcon.
Listen, if they were like more related to coyotes are little scavengers. All right, they're eating the dead.
So
we got coyotes here in Idaho.
We do. They're a problem.
They might have killed a couple of our cats.
They probably did. I don't want to talk about it. All right, so listen, we've discussed theories about why like Taret looks like the hippo, or Sobek is like a crocodile, or Horus is a hawk. But like these traditions are so very ancient that even if we went back and we're talking to an ancient Egyptian and we're like, why? They would not be able to answer that question. It's just the way it is, right? Like, where did this connection come from? It's kind of lost to time. But for Anubis, scholars have a pretty confident guess. I would like to read from The Complete Gods and Goddesses of Ancient Egypt by Richard H. Wilkinson. The gods' association with the dead probably originated in the habit of desert canines scavenging in the shallow graves of early cemeteries. And, as was common in Egyptian protective magic, the form of the threat was then utilized in order to provide protection for the dead.
Nice.
So, literally, these African wolves kept getting into graves, and that's no good if you have a religious belief that believes the physical body of the deceased is actually an important part of the afterlife process.
Yeah, they got to have all their limbs attached so that their boss has all their limbs attached.
It's a whole thing. We will get into it. Not in this episode, but don't worry, y'all. I know we're wrapping up the season, but I haven't forgotten about all the afterlife stuff. We've touched on it. We'll do that. So I found this theory echoed by several other Egyptologists, including Toby A.H. Wilkinson and Charles Freeman. And I was really excited to see it actually written in these important scholarly formats, because it's something I'd heard of forever ago, but had never verified. So I was pretty jazzed. And I was like, oh, that thing I have in my head is legit. So
that Tumblr post was right.
Mm-hmm. That Tumblr post, yeah. So an African wolf becomes the protector of the dead. And if you may recall from earlier in the season, Anubis predates Osiris.
Mm-hmm.
In the pre-dynastic and early Old Kingdom, Anubis was the god of burials and the king's afterlife. Largely because the king was the only one who got an afterlife. He's the only one that got to go join the gods at this time. Anubis was depicted in tombs as early as the First Dynasty. And by the Fourth Dynasty, we had mortuary texts that included the phrase, an offering a king gives and Anubis. But by the Fifth Dynasty, all of those phrases had changed to an offering the king gives and Osiris. So Osiris became the name of the game for burials in the afterlife and things like that. And in time, Anubis's cult would become assimilated into the cult of Osiris.
Mm-hmm.
However, even after Osiris became the king and pharaoh of the afterlife, that didn't see Anubis go by the wayside. Unlike other deities in time, once another deity would assimilate their role and become more prominent, we kind of see them become fragments of themselves and fall out of fashion. That never really happened with Anubis. Even though he wasn't in charge of the underworld anymore, he never stopped being an important part of the Egyptian afterlife belief system.
Yeah.
He's mentioned dozens of times in the pyramid text and in the coffin text. Anubis was also depicted on temples and tombs as well as amulets. He was maybe one of the most artistically portrayed deities, at least of the surviving things that we have. While Anubis didn't really appear in a lot of myths, because we haven't really talked about him, he hasn't made cameo appearances in the various stories we talked about. He had a ton of epitaphs, and I want to kind of focus on his most common ones.
Okay.
Because these are the ones that really reflect his role in protecting the dead, safeguarding both their physical bodies as well as their souls. And I've kind of grouped these epitaphs together in specific categories. So first I want to talk about the one that is the protector of the dead.
Mm-hmm.
Then of these epitaphs we will see foremost of the Westerners, Lord of the sacred land, he who is upon the sacred mountain. And so these all reference Anubis looking over the physical bodies of the deceased, right? Foremost of the Westerners references Egyptian cemeteries being built on the west of the Nile. And this is actually a title Anubis probably snagged from an earlier canine deity who he just subsumed.
Mm-hmm. As is the Egyptian god's way.
As is the Egyptian god's way. It's survival of the coolest.
I guess.
Whoever had the most jobs got to hang out the longest, it feels like. By the end of it, I think Isis reigned the longest because she yoinked enough stuff to stay relevant, you could say. Lord of the Sacred Lands refers to Anubis having domained over the deserts where the necropolises were actually built, and he who is upon the sacred mountain likely invokes the image of the African wolves watching from the cliffs overlooking those aforementioned desert necropolises. Stepping into like the next phase of like the Egyptian afterlife, we have a couple that reference his job in like preparing and protecting the souls. He who is in the place of embalming and foremost of the divine booth. So these epithets both relate to Anubis's role in helping the deceased go from their physical bodies into the afterlife. He who is in place of the embalming references Anubis in the physical act of embalming. Like he is the god of embalmers. Yeah. Mythologically, he's the one who embalmed Anubis, not Anubis, Osiris. That's like one of the few myths that we have Anubis like doing a thing.
Nice.
Mummification was an integral part of rituals for the dead as early as the Second Dynasty, which would be like circa 2800 BCE. As we discussed, the ancient Egyptians believed that if the physical body was destroyed, part of the soul would be lost as well. And while originally only kings got to be mummies, by the Middle Kingdom, anyone who could afford the process got to be mummified as well. And so Anubis is highly important because everybody wants to have a good afterlife. He would be the patron god of embalmers. During some periods, priests of Anubis would wear canine masks representing the god while they did their work.
Nice.
Which is pretty tight. I'm trying to remember, hey, in the Mummy 1999, when they're like mummifying Imhotep and all of his dudes, are they wearing masks? Are they wearing
They might have been wearing masks, but not because they were like the embalmer guys, but because they were like the guards.
Right, yeah.
So they were all doing the jackal masks, yeah, but they were the guard guys.
That's so great. Hey, we will mention the Mummy 1999, but we'll circle back.
Yeah.
And in foremost of the divine booth could kind of mean a number of things. It could mention the embalming booth, but also possibly the burial chamber or like the coffin itself. This epithet communicated Anubis as safeguarding the deceased even after the embalming process was over. And then I've got Defender of the Underworld and an epithet of Ruler of the Bows. And this, I had to do a little bit of outside research to figure out what the fuck this was talking about. So, there's an utterance in the pyramid texts that goes, the canine, the governor of bows, Anubis.
Mm-hmm.
And DJ, I didn't know this, so you're not going to know this, but I'd love to hear your answer, because I always love the crazy shit you say. If I were to say, what do you think the bows are in this context?
Like a hair bow or a bow tie, because it looks like dog ears.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Explicitly not. They're not like cute, coquette fashion statements. These are referencing the so-called nine bows, which I learned is an artistic representation of foreigners or others to the Egyptians. There's no list of what the nine are. In fact, nine may be a kind of misunderstanding of what is being like visually represented by this image. There is 9 things, but it's also possible that it's meant to actually communicate
just a group.
Totality or like innumerable.
Yeah.
And they also could have kind of represented a more abstract concept of like disorder outside of the Ma'at of Egypt, right? Just what that represents is an outside threat to Egypt, right? And so in the royal tombs in the Valley of the Kings, Anubis can be found crouching above the 9 bows, demonstrating the god asserting control over the forces of chaos that would threaten the dead and those in the afterlife. And then last, Guardian of the Scales. Because let's not forget Anubis' most iconic role.
The scales, yes.
The scales. In the Book of the Dead, Anubis is described as weighing the heart of the deceased against the feather of Ma'at. And say it with me. Those whose heart was lighter than the feather got to ascend to the heavens with Ra, and those whose heart was too heavy would be devoured by a mutt.
A mutt.
Yay. And you'd be like, hey, they haven't done an episode about a mutts yet. And I'm like,
We forgot.
Well, I did forget. And then we did the Moon Knight episode, and then I looked it up, and there's not enough for a full episode, but I wasn't going to shoehorn her here. So I haven't forgotten about a mutt. She will get a proper episode mention, just not right now. Moving on. So Anubis, how do I want to word this? I haven't spent a lot of time this season talking about like the parentage of each of the gods, because oftentimes it's not super relevant to the conversation we're having about the representations. And like, I mean, on sometimes it super is. Like Horus, Osiris, Isis, and Set. That's their familial bonds are crucial to what these gods represent and the dynamic with each other. But like
Ra?
Thoth?
No, it doesn't really matter.
Bastet? Not really. Like sometimes it's mentioned like, but for Anubis, I want to mention it because I think it's super interesting with how it's played out. So they're also like varied and ever changing. And like the old kingdom, the familiar bonds will be one thing, and by the new kingdom, it'll be totally different, right? But Anubis is particularly interesting. So in the coffin text, which was used primarily in like the Middle Kingdom, he's cited as being the son of the goddess Hesat, or on some occasions even Bastet, which is like cute as hell. What the fuck? That reminds me of Treasure Planet and the captain and the doctor at the end and their little like cat and dog children.
It's adorable.
It's adorable.
Cute as fuck.
So later, he would often be cited as the son of Nephthys by either Set or by Ra. There's sometimes by Osiris himself, later adopted by Isis. But that came from Plutarch. And I'm done talking about anything Plutarch had to say this season. But later myths would actually cite Anubis as being the son of Osiris and Isis. And Egyptologist George Hart sees this as, quote, an attempt to incorporate the independent deity Anubis into the Osirian pantheon. Because Anubis is so deeply important, as we talked about. And Anubis represented like a guarantee to the Egyptians.
Yeah.
This kind of reassurance that after they died, their souls would continue on and their bodies would be protected. And it's understandable why this like reverence and affection and fondness for the deity would lead to like the wider culture wanting to see this deity incorporated into
what's also important.
Yes, exactly. Like the popular beliefs and practices. And so having Anubis be defined as a child of Osiris brings him into this stronger connection, or the story of like Osiris and Horus and Set and all these other pieces that are equally important and communicating belief systems about Egypt in its living world, and then tying Osiris into that as well, or Anubis into that as well, continues on. And yeah, I just thought that was pretty neat.
Oh yeah.
Would you like to talk about SMITE, DJ?
Of course. Jackal-headed Anubis holds the ultimate judgment over the dead, measuring every heart against the weight of truth. Nephthys, wife of Set, the god of darkness, desired a child, yet her husband was infertile. So Nephthys desired...
Wait, hold on, what?
So we're choosing this
one. What a fucking statement!
So Nephthys disguised herself as a Set, the wife of Set's brother Osiris, and seduced him. From that union, Anubis was born. Osiris cared for Anubis as his own, but when Osiris was murdered by his evil brother, Set, Anubis embalmed his adopted father and mummified his corpse so he would not rot. This preservation passed down to the faithful, for if it was good enough for the gods, it was good enough for man. None enter the abyss of the underworld without first being tested by Anubis. When corpses are preserved, he is the embalmer. When time for judgment comes, he is the final arbiter. In his realm, he keeps legendary weighing scales. One side, the massive weights of Mat, the truth and order. The other side, he places the heart of the deceased. Should the weights of Mat prove infinitely heavier than that of the heart, Anubis casts the soul deep into the darkness of the underworld, where it is forgotten, never to be reborn. I think he was like a season 1 or even like beta god.
Yeah, because it doesn't say anything about him coming back to fight.
Yeah, this is like straight up. Like this is
why is Anubis
This
here?
is just Anubis' lore.
Yeah, it's just Anubis' lore. It doesn't say like why he's been called to the battlefield or what he's doing.
I think the Battleground of the Gods was a tag that came about season 2.
How would you, as a Smite player who's been around so long, how would you feel if these early gods got like a revamp of their lore to be more in line with the later?
It'd be a lot of fun. I'd like that, but it's going to be one of those things that just goes entirely unnoticed.
I mean, yeah. I mean, why
like
are
the fact that I'm able to point out like now after reading all of these,
but
from Newt being like the last god they added to Smite 1 to Anubis, which is one of the first gods they had in Smite. That's a crazy difference.
Yeah, for sure, but it's not a thing you would have noticed while you were playing.
Yeah, never.
Yeah. I just was wondering like how
I knew they had these lore bits, but I never sat down and read any of them.
Yeah. I was just curious how you, like, as someone who participates in the game, would like feel as like if they wanted to revamp it and make it.
They can. But they're like 6 or 7 months ago or something like that, they did a bunch of layoffs.
Oh man.
So they're already down to like a bare bones team. So
they
I don't want them
just launched Smite 2. I'm sorry, DJ.
Listen, beta has not been kind to Smite 2. They have about like 5,000 concurrent players at like pretty much all the time, but it's still not a lot. Smite was getting I think 10 typically, so it's not great.
Sorry, DJ.
It happens.
You hate to see it.
Truly.
Oh, hold on.
We'll see what happens once they finally get all the gods in, but they're still I think like 50 gods away.
What? Okay. In regards to Smite 2, what have they done that has made it
Smite 2?
Yeah, like worthwhile.
The engine update on the items. The engine that they were using for Smite 1, it was Unreal Engine 3, which came out in like 2006, and Smite 1 came out right around Unreal Engine 4 came out, right?
Okay.
And they're using Unreal Engine 5 now, so visually it looks better. There's a lot more like tech stuff that they can do in terms of like gods.
Okay.
The item system I'm a really big fan of, but that's because I like the component system that like League had. I thought it was really nice. So they've done that kind of thing. And I mean, yeah, it's been more of a sequel than Overwatch 2.
Okay. That's something. So I like Business Dog. I'm looking at the skins for Anubis, and this is a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
In a business suit. He looks pretty cool.
He's got a lot of fun skins.
Cryptid Death is pretty rad. If you asked who is this, I might try to guess Loki, to be perfectly honest. That's the vibe I'm getting. Demonic
Pact is a skin that changes in-game.
Ooh, how so?
You start off as like, just like, if I would say Satanic Acolyte from Diablo.
Okay.
Just like that picture. Guy, red robe maybe.
Yeah.
Some symbols. Yeah. There were 4 stages between that and him getting to that final picture. Or not 4. There are 2 stages between that and the final picture. Where it is. Maybe if we... No. It's in game, it's a GIF showing the cycle of him doing it. But as you level up, he gets like more demonic until he becomes that full creature.
Ooh. I like Heavy Hitter, where he's like a boxer. Not a boxer dog. Like he's like Jackal. Yeah, he's with like a boxer.
Yeah, he's in like boxing gear. I'm a fan of Canine.
Canine, yeah, just a canine.
He has one of his abilities is like a fan out in front of him because it's like locusts, right? So he's spraying locusts.
Ooh.
And when you're in that, it's him just spraying like pepper spray.
Oh gosh. Big fan of Freedom Retriever.
Freedom Retriever's a classic.
That's in the we talked about the vein of the aggressively American patriotic skins. They're
fun. So good. Did I tell you about Thorge Washington?
You did tell me about Thorge Washington.
Washington's so good.
And then Gravehound, where he is a skeleton.
I think that
He's
was like
a scary dog skeleton.
That was his first real skin, aside from the recolor. Yeah, and that's in he's had a rework for his like model, like visual rework. And that one's in the style of his first model. So if you could picture that, but like with actual, skin and stuff like that.
Hey, here's a question I maybe should have asked years ago. So when we're looking at the skins on the Smite website, what does it mean when one is normal or exclusive or cross-gen?
So normal means it's
special?
Available all the time.
Okay.
Right? Like you could just get gems and then buy it.
Okay.
The God page. Exclusive means that it came out during like an event of sorts or just like was exclusive to like a loot box in the early days. There were chests, or then they expanded it to like, or it was available during like a battle pass, or just like these specific things. It's exclusive, and so now it's exclusive to a box.
Okay.
Limited means that there was like a truly big event, like that. The demonic pack skin. That is the skin you got for going through the entirety of the Odyssey and unlocking every skin. That is that big event. Then you get this skin. That's what that is. It's no longer available. Period.
Okay.
Cannot get it.
Okay. What about cross-gen?
Cross-gen means that it came out towards the end of Smite 1, and they're like, okay, if you get this skin, you're also going to get it in Smite 2.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
So, DJ,
yes.
What if I told you that Anubis does, in fact, appear on screen in the Mummy franchise?
I think I remember that, yeah.
Yeah? Where do you think I'm referring to?
It's either The Mummy 2, Return of the Scorpion King, or just a Scorpion King movie.
Okay.
I know it has to do with the Scorpion King because the Anubis turned him into that fucking thing.
So, I do have that noted. So, in The Mummy Returns, it is said that Anubis strikes a deal with the warrior in exchange for his soul, and he offers him a golden pyramid and spares his life in the desert. And that is how this warrior becomes the Scorpion King. But we don't actually see Anubis. We just hear about it. And then all the Jackal warriors also look like Anubis-esque, but we don't actually see the god. But in the first Mummy movie, we do.
Oh.
It's a blink and you miss it. And I've watched it so many times that I didn't notice until a later viewing. But at the end of the movie, one Evie reads the final spell, and it takes away his immortality. The chariot that rides through
is Anubis.
Anubis is on the chariot. He is the one. You can tell it's a canine, it's a jackal, wolf-headed deity on the chariot that grabs his immortality away and rides it away. And then Rick can stab him.
Outstanding.
Because he's mortal now. It's so
he's
good.
Mortal. Get him.
Get him. Now, I have another one. Not a lot. Anubis, I feel like, appears aesthetically.
Yeah.
But, like, I was really surprised I couldn't find more. Okay, like,
I think if you're going to visually...
lie. There's two other things that
I think if you're going to visually see a god, it's going to be Anubis.
Yeah.
But if you're going to hear about a god, it's going to be Ra or Cyrus.
Right. We've seen Set more frequently. I was surprised about. There are two more things I could cite that Anubis was in that I've actually engaged with, but I fucking won't.
Understandable.
So I'm going to tell you about the 9 lives of Chloe King. Here's my drop the ball. I should have mentioned the 9 lives of Chloe King in our Bastet episode.
Yeah.
And that was on me. Completely forgot it. Now, this was an ABC family drama, like a series based on a book series. And it is about a 16-year-old who finds out she is a member of the Mai, which are a mortal descendants of the goddess Bastet. And they're essentially a race of demigods who are tasked as the protectors and companions of mankind. And I'm justifying mentioning it here because the mortal enemies of the Mai were called the Jackals, a race that had descended from Anubis. Yeah. Anyway, another and you're like, that's not a lot. And like, I watched this series and I think I read the first book when I was in like middle school. So that's not a lot to go on. But I justify definitely needed to mention it here because the books were written by Liz Braswell.
Oh, you love to see it.
We love to see it. Listeners, if you're not joining us on the Patreon for our regular Bunker 9 episode, Twisted Tales reoccurrences, you may not be familiar with Ms. Braswell and her work in its relation to
fucking she loves that body horror.
She's scary. What Liz Braswell writes
can be like very gruesome and rough.
It's very gruesome. The Sleeping Beauty one? No, sorry. The Beauty and the Beast one?
Yeah.
The Unbirthday Alice in Wonderland one? We didn't even do a full episode on that. I just had to tell you about it because I was like, hey, this had a couple things that were traumatizing. She doesn't
I think she was
fuck around.
She was the Aladdin one with carpet.
Yeah. Yep. She was A Whole New World.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's doing an Up one.
Oh.
It comes out in April, DJ.
I cannot wait for her to murder Carl on screen.
It's called Adventure is Out There. And it is what if it was Ellie who went up to Paradise Falls?
Guess what? I'm right. Carl dies on screen.
Let me see. This is the first Pixar one. I don't think.
No, I don't think we've done
I didn't even know they were doing this. Pixar. Let me.
No, Brave. Brave is Pixar.
Brave is Pixar.
Yeah, you always forget because it's so clearly a fucking Disney movie that it's a Pixar movie.
Okay, so 16-year-old Ellie McGill is fed up. Sure, for some, life in the small town Americana is idyllic. Nothing but fences and USO dances and holiday parties. But Ellie has long dreamed of towering mountains, tangled jungles, and most of all, traveling to the incredible South American landmark, Paradise Falls. Ellie thought these dreams made her strange until she met her sweet best friend Carl when he promptly broke his leg in her clubhouse. Carl is Ellie's closest confidant. He's also the only one able to talk her off a ledge. But things between them seem weird lately as Ellie grows increasingly frustrated with his quiet way of doing things. Is it just her, or are there new feelings bubbling up between them? I'm sorry. That was the worst Twisted Tale description I've ever read.
Here's the thing. Sounds bad already. I want it to be old lady Ellie. Okay, I want it to be Carl's the one who got cancer. That's probably not what happened.
I want Carl.
She definitely just passed away. I want Carl to have a stroke, okay, and then she goes and lives. Because that's what I want. Because that's what that Twisted Tale says. That's what the what if sound feels like.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. What's this Moana one? What if Moana broke the heart of Tafiti? Ooh, it's by a different author. We haven't seen any of her stuff yet. We got to get back on the Twisted Tales train. Yeah. We'll do that. Hey, join us over on Bunker 9, patreon.com/Muses of Mythology.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff over there, and we'll probably do that. We'll probably do some more Twisted Tales.
It's been a hot second. Well, listen, it's been long enough that there's finally more for us to talk about. I think
more that we're excited to talk about, because some of them have been man.
Hey, you're right. How could I forget Brave? Brave to the Future?
Brave to the Future.
The fuck, y'all.
Anyway, no, we got to get back to Anubis.
Okay, Anubis. Okay, we're done. Thank you all for joining us. That's all I got for Anubis.
Anubis was in Tomb Raider King. He was the Ankh of Anubis, and I don't know. The scales. The scales were in Yu-Gi-Oh!
The Millennium Scales. Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, the Millennium Scales. I don't know about mainline. Season 0, Yugi goes Yami, and just fucking kills people with the scale. He's like, all right, let's weigh your heart. And there was a dude who was just constantly lying, but it was he was forced to lie. But that's just because that's the kind of guy he was. He'd lie in those situations if he was actually asked these questions. And so as his heart grew heavier and heavier, he just, I think he got his soul sucked out and sent into the what the fuck? Shadow realm. Just straight up ended up in the Shadow realm, and Yami's just that's what I do. I think he did it to one other guy, but Season 0 was crazy. If you've never even heard of it, let alone seen it.
It was originally going to be just about different types of games of chance.
Well, yeah, it was Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game was there. But it really was just Yami being the king of games and doing other games with people.
You're right. He does call himself the king of games, but he seems just to be good at this one game.
Yeah, he's in Season 0, he's doing all these other games with people. And then
let's see how this motherfucker would do it. Scrabble.
He traps Kaiba in the Shadow Realm, he's experiencing all these illusions of the monsters from the cards. It's yeah, I figured out how to do this shit in real life with tech, and so now I got your grandfather trapped in a fucking illusion room.
He hates Yugi?
I guess, yeah. It was I got your grandfather trapped in an illusion room. He's also being tortured by the same shit you tortured me with.
You know what? With that context, I think maybe Kaiba's coming at it a little bit
I think
truer
Season 0 is not technically canon.
It's not, but I feel maybe it influenced things going forward.
Probably.
That's so crazy. Yeah. But how do we think the Pharaoh would do it playing fucking Root or Settlers of Catan? Actually, I bet he'd be fucking great at Settlers of Catan. That is that is literally resource management and trading. That is his job as the Pharaoh, you're right. But Root?
He'd probably be pretty good at it.
Do you think D&D would count? Just the heart of the cards, he's always rolling nat 20s, and so you just have to let him be DM eventually, because it's just not fun to play with.
Dude, what the hell? Stop it. Just piss off. You're bringing your weighted dice in here. I don't appreciate it. But we know you're cheating, because that's just what you do.
He's give me your dice then. And he's just always rolling 20s. I believe in the heart. But he's you have to explain to him, sometimes failure is an important part of continuing the story forward. If you do what you want all the time, how are you...
Well, where's the fun in that?
And I think the fun of him is I just want to win. Yeah. Isn't that the point of being king of games? It's like, I feel like we should play something else.
Let's play something you can win.
Let's play Monopoly.
Yeah.
That's not fun for anybody except the Pharaoh. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
I was so excited to talk about Anubis, and now I have, and I feel so happy. And I was so excited to learn he's a wolf. I mean, Jackal is fine, and I don't think we're going to stop doing that.
Yeah, he's a jackal. It's what everybody knows him as now. That's what he is, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, actually. And I don't think it's that. I just think it's so fascinating that taxonomically,
it's a wolf.
But he would have been, we call him a jackal because that creature was identified as a jackal. But if they had known it was actually a wolf the whole time, we call him a wolf.
Yeah.
I just think that's cool.
I mean, Wolf Anubis is out there.
What a fun fact. What a fun little fact. Mm-hmm. Also resulted in me looking up what jackals look like for the first time.
I have no idea what a jackal looks like.
They kind of look like fucking coyotes.
I believe it.
They're just, look at these. Look at these guys.
Yeah, they just look like coyotes mixed with foxes.
It's a jackal. And if you would ask me to describe a jackal, I definitely would have just described Anubis.
Yeah, like, I don't fucking know.
I do have to confess a thing. If you'd be like, what do jackals look like? It'd be like, kind of slender, pointy, black desert dogs. And it'd be like, Anubis is black because of symbolism. Jackals don't look like that. And I will confess this to you. I definitely thought they were black.
Listen, just put some pointy ears on the werewolf teacher, and then you got Anubis. What do you want from me? You got a jackal.
It's a jackal. All right. Next time, I think we're gonna
from Harry Potter. That's what that.
I knew what it was. I was just gonna let it slide.
I was telling you the audience.
Harry Potter, the
werewolf teacher. I was like, well, what could that be?
DJ, you know what's really weird about Harry Potter? We have no idea who wrote it.
Crazy.
We have no idea who wrote that. Yeah, Crazy. Just lost to time. Absolutely fucking insane. All right, next time I would like to discuss another character that I was holding off for the end, Apophis.
Wow.
We haven't done Apophis yet, and I think it's time.
Great.
I think it's time to wrap our final deity proper episode before doing an episode I've been very excited for, which is I'm going to see if DJ can survive the Egyptian underworld.
Doubt it.
We'll see what happens. Okay, so we will be back in your ears on Tuesday, February 17th to talk about Apophis. But until next time, don't be like Zeus.
Don't be like Zeus.
Muses of Mythology is created and hosted by Darien and DJ Smartt. It's edited by Darien Smartt. The show is produced by Darien and DJ Smartt, as well as
Tim O'Connor, The Crystal Conman, Nicholas Miller, Jeffrey Babbitt.
Our music is Athens Festival by Martin Hain.
And our cover is by Ran Kapoka. You can find them on Instagram or through the link in our show notes. Want more Muses of Mythology? Support the show on Patreon. Join the Patreon for free for access to outtakes and bloopers from our main feed episodes. Or for $5 a month, you can enjoy our Bunker 9 bonus episodes every other week. Get more at patreon.com/Muses of Mythology.
You can also support the show by leaving a review at lovethepodcast.com/Muses of Mythology. Or tell a friend why you love the show.
Don't forget to check out all of our episodes and episode transcripts at musesofmythology.com.
Thanks for listening.